Hello, I want to make this video just a guide to if you are an ugly, lonely man. Now, a lot of people have made videos on this topic. There's tons that you can find on YouTube, tons of videos. Most of them are kind of a waste, I find. Not just about ugly, lonely men, but just about loneliness, about relationships in general. And, a lot of people take on this, hopeful, there's someone out there for everyone. I don't want to lie. Some people are going to struggle so much that, the effort isn't worth it. I think, if you're really super, if you're really ugly, it's going to be such a struggle that at some point it's not going to be worth it for you, right? Trying to get into these relationships, not going to be worth it for you. A lot of people don't want to date ugly people. And, first thing is, can't really blame women. Some of you guys might disagree with me. If you were a woman yourself, would you really want to date an ugly guy? You can date someone who looks better, who you're actually attracted to. Why would you want to date someone you're unattracted to? For what reason would you? So, don't blame women about this. The first step is honestly just understanding your circumstances. Your life is going to be different if you're ugly. People are going to treat you differently based on just your looks, and you're going to have to accept that your face is going to play a big part in how people perceive you, and it's going to play a pretty big part in how your life turns out, right? There's a reason why waitresses and waiters are usually the attractive people. If you're ugly, you're probably not going to apply for those jobs, and if you do apply for those jobs, you're probably not likely to get it. I don't want to trick anyone and saying that, being ugly and lonely, there's like a bright side of it. I've seen people talk about there's actually a benefit. There are no benefits. I'm not gonna lie to you and say this is easy, but I just want to say is don't blame yourself. When I was in friend groups, they used to tell me something like, oh, it's not about your looks, whatever, blah, 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 right? Maybe it's something with your personality. Don't let people tell you that it's like a personality issue or a status issue or whatever. Tons of people who are good looking don't have good personalities, but are in relationships. So just know that you cannot change this. It's not because you're not working hard enough. A lot of people like to say, oh, you're just not working hard enough, you're not looking hard enough for these types of things. It's not your fault. To blame yourself, you're only going to make yourself feel worse, and this is not something that you should blame yourself about. What I want to talk about next is if you know you're ugly, just don't approach women. What do they say? You're cringe maxing. Yeah, it's kind of cringe. If you're approaching women, you're ugly, they don't really want to talk to you. If they do talk to you, it's most likely because you kind of feel trapped. Like, there's this ugly dude talking to me, I want to throw up. I can't really leave this conversation. Maybe they think they might get hurt or something. So it's better just to be nice to you. And don't take women's kindness towards you as like a sign of relationships. Like, oh, wow, this waiter was so nice to me, blah, blah, blah. They don't like you. I would, in fact, if you're ugly, I would just not approach women at all. And from my experience, if you're an ugly dude, most friendships with women, 90% of them aren't worth it. Because women do tend to care a lot about aesthetics. How you look. A lot of them care about how you look. So that's not going to go away just because you're friends. They're going to treat you differently. They're probably going to treat you worse than their friends that they perceive as pretty. And the same thing as before, don't join clubs. Don't be like, oh, I'm going to join the running club, whatever. Or join this club, this function, whatever. Thinking you're going to meet women like that, leave them alone. It's just to drive home the point. If you're ugly, don't approach women. I would not be approaching women. It's just bad for you, right? You're just trauma forming, right? If you want to join some club, if you want to do some activity, do it because you like it. Do it because you love it, not because you're going to meet the love of your life there. And a lot of people do give that advice. Oh, you need to go out. You need to go talk to women. The women don't want to talk to you outside. That's just a fact. Also, don't try to stand out. A lot of people, they get advice, oh, you need to be confident, you need to speak up, when you do those things as an ugly person, as an ugly man, you only draw more hate towards yourself. When you're ugly, people already hate you before you open your mouth. Being a cocky asshole isn't going to make you more likable. Trying to talk to everyone isn't going to make you more likable. If anything, it's going to make you more hated. Right? You're going to be annoying. People are going to see you as annoying. People are going to see you as cringe. Don't do it. All right? Don't try to stick out. Like most of this advice, like be confident, whatever, you approach a lot of women. They come from these red pill influencers who want to sell you courses, whatever. These people don't care about you. You need to be realistic about like who these people are. They're just trying to sell you something. You're just a customer. They don't care about your well-being. Nothing like that. So don't fall for these shady red pill influencers. They're, just trying to get a quick buck off you. Okay? Now, another thing is coping is okay. Some people say, oh, you need to be on the grind. You should be grinding all the time. Gaming, reading books, watching movies, escapism, going to the gym, taking vacations, whatever. If you like them, if you enjoy that stuff, you can do them. It's not gonna stop you. Do what you think is fun. As long as you're not hurting anyone, it's fine. And my last thing to say is, like, if you really think you want to be in a relationship, if you can't, I need to be in a relationship, best thing to do is just hard looks maxing and geomaxing. It's I've never tried doing it, so I don't really have that much advice. I'm sure on forums, whatever, people can tell you their experiences. Hard looks maxing, you got to be careful with getting these surgeries and stuff like that, of course. A lot of soft looks maxing is just not going to work. Going to the gym, if you're ugly, it's not going to change a lot of your face. You can't really change that unless you hard looks max, and of course height can't really change that. You can get the leg lengthening surgery, but that's dangerous. I've seen the videos. You just gotta understand that if you do want a relationship, you're gonna have to go the extra mile, and it's probable that the woman might not like you if she's not attracted to you like that, right? You don't want to be used for your money, whatever. Just understand that these are the facts of life. And I'm coming from a place, as an ugly man, trying to help out. A lot of the stuff is not told to you at a young age. A lot of people are like, oh, you're going to find the one, oh, this, that. You got to be understanding that this is not the case. This is reality. So, thanks for listening. Stay warm and healthy. Bye.